Good morning. Good morning. This is Katie Gulas, not Gusty Gulas of the Gusty Gulas Group. And we are also missing Josh this week, but do not turn the dials. We will have a great show for you. It should be fun and informational. But again, I'm Katie. I'm Gusty's wife and the Chief Marketing Officer at the Gusty Gulas Group. Gusty is currently in New York, masterminding with some of the top agents and broker owners in the country, including the famous Ryan Serhan of Serhan, the brokerage, author of books, podcasts, all the things, has his own reality show. I'm sure you know him. And with me today is Brittni Moore, our Director of Operations, who keeps the train on the tracks at our office. Welcome to the show, Brittni.
Thank you.
And with us this morning as well is Laura Perez, who is our closing coordinator for the Gusty Gulas Group. So we're going to talk a lot today with Laura about what happens in the closing world and all of the ins and outs and details that are happening behind the scenes in our office that our clients probably are never even aware of, luckily for them. Okay, so Brittni, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about yourself and give us a brief overview of what you do at G3.
Okay. I have been with Gusty for 7 years. Started out as a client and then actually started as the listing coordinator with the Gusty Gulas Group and then moved into operations. So as Katie mentioned, I keep the train on the tracks and manage admin staff and our day-to-day operations and our systems and processes just to make sure everything is going smoothly around the office. Personally, married, have a 16-year-old bonus daughter, have a soon-to-be 3-year-old son, and I love the summertime, so beach and lake season is here.
Yeah, you can find Brittni on a boat. If she's not in the office, she'll be boating somewhere.
I'll be on the beach tomorrow.
But I hope you guys heard that. Brittni started out as a client of the Gusty Gulas Group, so our clients love us so much that they come work for us and stay with us for 7 or more years, hopefully way more. Thank you, Brittni. So Laura, our closing coordinator, I would love the same information. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
All right. So personally, I have lived in Helena for about 12 years. I am married. I have 2 kids. Well, they're pretty much grown, 24, and we have a senior this year, so we're counting down graduation.
Oh
Mama is not okay. But as far as working with Gusty Gulas Group, I guess I've been there about 8 months now. I'm the closing coordinator, so kind of once we get a home under contract, I handle the process from that point to get it to the closing table and help our agents and clients.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, so one thing that we do, and I would love to say we do this every show, but I just started it last week because I was filling in for Josh, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take control of the schedule, the agenda, the topics. I'm in charge now. So I love for all of us to do a top and flop of the week. So I don't know if your parents ever made you do this at like the dinner table, but like your peak in your valley or like the best thing that happened to you this week and the worst thing that happened to you this week. I have a lot of friends whose parents did that when they were kids. My mom didn't. She made us tell her one nice thing we did for someone that day. And I would remember like coming home from school and being like, oh my gosh, did I do anything nice for anybody today? What am I going to say at the dinner table? Okay, so I'll start. My top for this past week was that I spent most of it in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. So that was pretty awesome. Spent a lot of time on the beach, at the pool, on a boat.
Jealous.
So, oh yeah, it was nice. We saw whales. Nobody was nearly as excited about that as I was. But I was talking these whales up like the whole trip. I was there with like 21 people, and I was talking these whales up the whole trip, and everybody was like, "Oh, cool, they're whales." And then we got on this boat, and I was like, "If we don't see a whale today, I'm gonna look like such an idiot." But luckily we did. We saw lots of jumps. So, and then my flop, I haven't really had much of a flop just yet. Maybe coming home. Coming home on very delayed and complicated flight schedules was probably my flop. But I am happy to be home. Miss my kids. I also miss Gusty in the mix of it. So he was on his way to New York before I ever made it home. So haven't even seen him yet. Brittni, do you have a top and a flop?
I'm going to say my top is I got all my laundry completed.
That's a feat. Now you know it's a girl power show when we're talking about laundry in the first segment.
Especially when you're potty training.
Oh, definitely when you're
All
potty
laundry
training.
is complete.
That's nice. Okay, that's a good top.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a flop?
I don't know of a flop.
People been testing her patience this week.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you know that
Some
happens
people,
every
some
week.
people don't say things in the most appropriate manner. It's not what you say, but how you say it. So,
Agreed.
probably that would be my flop for
Okay.
the week.
Well, and then your top could be that you didn't actually lose your cool.
I didn't.
I haven't seen you lose your cool yet. I mean, it is only when, Okay, so let's talk about Laura's top and flop.
Okay. I guess it's going to show how exciting my life is. My top is that my husband bought me my new ice maker yesterday
Okay.
that I've wanted for like 4 years.
Is it like
The good ice?
The crushed ice,
yeah.
the good crushed ice.
iconic,
So, yeah, I'm super excited. It'll be here Friday. So,
the elite ice?
I know. It's
the
crazy
best
what
ice.
you get excited about these days. I don't know about a flop this week, I guess. I don't know. We had senior pictures Saturday.
Kinda
And that was
emotional.
good, but it was also like
Yeah,
kind of emotional. I waited till I got in the car by myself before I cried.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was good.
mom moves. Yeah. I say we're living our best lives. If we all struggled to find a flop, I think that's a pretty good thing. I can't remember what mine was last week, but it was pretty obvious. I was like ready for it. This week we're doing all right. Okay, well, let's quickly go into what's happening in the next week or so in the Magic City with our Magic City Minute. Later today, Sunday, 1 to 4 p.m., is the Historic Hollywood Tour of Homes. I think this was something that had been going on for quite a while and then maybe took a hiatus, but this is its first year back after a break. But this tour, which was first held in the 80s, is the Historic Hollywood Club's biannual fundraiser for the neighborhood beautification. It supports Shades Cahaba Elementary. And in 2002, the Hollywood Historic District was placed on the National Register of Historic Places and remains of historical significance. Just based on the architecture of the homes, there are a lot of very, very old Spanish and Tudor homes in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful neighborhood to just drive through. You ever have one of those Sundays where you're like, let's just go for a drive? I feel like nobody does that anymore. Instead, you just let's scroll through TikTok in the living room. But it is very beautiful, and I believe tickets are available at the door for that tour. But they're featuring homes that have retained their historical significance, and kind of stay true to the original structure, but have been updated to today's modern standards. Tomorrow, John Batiste will be playing at Avondale Brewery. General admission tickets to that are $53. Do y'all know who John Batiste is?
The name sounds familiar, but I can't tell you.
I feel like
exactly.
people either are obsessed with him or they just don't know who he is.
I have no idea who he is.
I can't think of anybody that doesn't like him. But he is a singer, songwriter, plays multiple instruments, super, super talented guy. He has composed and performed unrecorded with Stevie Wonder, Prince, Willie Nelson, my absolute favorite, Lenny Kravitz, Ed Sheeran, Lana Del Rey, Roy Hargrove, Juvenile. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
We can't sing that on the radio.
No.
And Mavis Staples, so obviously a very eclectic musician just by seeing who he's partnered with in the space. But he's so talented. I think he just performed, I believe, maybe at the Grammys. Super talented guy. So tickets are still available, shockingly, to that one. Also in the entertainment world, Pretty Woman, the musical.
That was my favorite movie.
Oh, so good. So good. Julia
How my
Roberts.
mom
in
let
that.
me watch that as a child, I have no idea.
I
I'm like,
know.
this is so inappropriate
I
now
know,
that I'm
but
an adult.
I had no idea. I think that I just thought, she was his new friend. His new friend.
All innocent.
But apparently Pretty Woman is a musical. I had no idea that there was a musical version of this, but it is coming to the BJCC. They every year have a Broadway series that comes through, and this is one of those. So that starts April 30th and runs through the first week of May at the BJCC. And then next Saturday, the 4th, is the Birmingham Folk Festival. Also didn't know this was a thing, but it sounds really cool. In my research, I got on their Facebook page. It is at Avondale Park this Saturday, the 4th, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., so kind of an all-day thing. And it features a lot of different local bands and artists. It's free. It's family friendly. And there are a lot. When I thought folk, I was like, okay, a lot of folk bands or whatever. But it's gospel, bluegrass, blues, Americana, West African drumming, mariachi, hip hop, and marching bands. So, I mean, a little bit
Quite the
for
variety.
everybody. Yeah, nobody's going to be bored at that. But that sounds like super fun, something to take the kids to if you're trying to get out. Hopefully, the weather will be nice, and that'll just be a nice little festival. I think they're going to have art and things like that, and that's a cool amphitheater. I don't know if y'all have ever been to anything back there. I've not actually been to an event there. I've just been there for like taking photos, and we shot some video with Gusty there when we were doing some Avondale tours. But it's like this cool old stone amphitheater, and then that park has the pond in the middle, and it's really cute over there.
It's
Really
fun.
cute.
Need to go check that out.
Also, the Rocket City Trash Pandas will be playing the Birmingham Barons at Regents Field, just around the corner from the studio here, the same day, May the 4th. So you can get tickets for that on the Barons website. Best name in minor league baseball, maybe. Gusty and I last year went to a Trash Pandas game at their field, and I feel like they live up to the name, and that it's just really entertaining. They do really fun stuff. So, and then music picks. I think I mentioned these last week, but Casting Crowns will be at Alabama Theater on April the 30th. I'm not really super familiar with them, but I've seen a lot of it about it online. So I think they have a big fan base here in Birmingham. And then my favorite, Rustin Kelly, will be that same night, April 30th, at Workplay, which is where I will be also with Gusty Gulas of the Gusty Gulas Group, brokered by EXP. But yeah, lots of stuff going on. Do y'all have any plans this week? Anything exciting that you're going to be doing? I know Brittni's headed to the beach.
Yes.
Laura?
Yeah, no, I don't really have too much going on. My son's girlfriend is actually graduating from UAB on Saturday, so we'll be celebrating her.
That's awesome. You're going to the ceremony?
Yes.
You're going to stay for the whole thing? I hear it's pretty long.
We'll see. It's at like 9:30 in the morning Saturday, so I'm sure it'll be fun.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be coming up in the next segment after the break, talking a little bit more about the ins and outs of what our operations and closing teams do behind the scenes at the Gusty Gulas Group, and some notes to keep in mind as buyers and sellers approach the closing process of their transactions. So we'll be back right after the break.